But then what we have to understand is, even though Patanjali accepts that the Supreme Lord is a person, but ultimately what is the goal of Ashtanga Yogi as described by Patanjali? He says that the ultimate goal that is to be achieved by a yogi, he says it is Purushartha Shunyanam Gunanam Pratiprasavaha Kaivalyam Swarupa Pratishtava Chiti Shakti Riti. According to him, the ultimate goal of an Ashtanga yogi is, first of all, Purushartha Shunyanam. All the Purusharthas should become Shunya. The four Purusharthas, the Chatush Purushartha, consisting of Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha, have to be reduced to zero. Dharma means the following of a particular religion. Everybody in this world follows some religion or the other. What is the idea? If I follow this religion, I can get Artha. By satisfying God or the demigods, I can get good wealth. I can lead a prosperous life. And by getting Artha, what is it that I wish to achieve? Kama. My desires will get fulfilled. I have a desire to roam around in a big car. I have a desire to own a big bungalow. I have a desire to have a nice family. I have a desire to stay in a 5-star hotel. All these things can be satisfied only if you have money. Therefore, Artha is meant, money is meant for Kama, for satisfying our material desires. And when after a long time of engaging in this kind of repeated activity of using dharma to get wealth and using that wealth to try to satisfy one's desires, but one keeps getting frustrated in one's attempts, when one realizes ultimately that this attempt to enjoy my senses through the process of religion and economic development is actually futile. It only entails lot of hard work and labor. So much difficulty I have to undertake. So much effort I have to put to follow religion and to earn the money. And the amount of happiness that I get in return is not proportionate to the effort that I have to put. It is very, very minuscule. The return on investment is very, very low. Every businessman, when he has to invest in a business, he will see what is the return I am getting. I am investing 100 rupees. After 2 years, how much money will I get? If I say, I'll give you, yes, this business is going to be profitable, and after 2 years, your 100 rupees will become 101 rupees. The businessman will not be interested. He will say, why I should struggle so much for that 1 rupee? If you tell him your 100 rupees will become 150, he will become immediately interested. Oh, tell me more. What is the plan? What is the strategy? How are you going to go about it? What is the market, this one? He'll start asking so many questions. He'll become very interested. Now, if we look at our whole life as a business, and the investment is our effort, and the profit is the happiness we ultimately get. If you measure life in terms of this, you will see the return on investment is not even that 100 will give 101. 100 will give some 10 or 20. Your money you are investing will go down. It will not appreciate, it will only depreciate. An intelligent man will never invest in such a negative return on investment. Nobody will do it. When a person comes to his senses and sees that I am struggling so hard in this material world, but the return of happiness that I am getting is very, very minuscule. That's the nature of happiness in this material world. No happiness in this material world comes unfettered. It is always accompanied by great distress that one has to undergo to achieve that material happiness. When a person comes to his senses and he is able to see this reality, he says, enough of this dharma, artha and kama. I want to try for moksha. I want to become liberated.